Hi everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Cricket. I've did several biscuit recipes on my channel way back when I kind of first started. So I'm just going to bring you along and show you how I make my mini homemade cheese biscuits. And to me, this is good to have for like if you're having a get together or a party and you're having a lot of finger foods. Make some little homemade cheese biscuits, and it just goes well with everything. Christmas Eve morning when we go to Mom's, I make a whole pan of these, and she has ham and all kind of stuff, and we're like having a finger food breakfast, and this goes good. So I normally don't measure this. I just kind of go by, eyeball, but I will measure it. So I'm going to take my self-rising flour, and I'm going to sift it because you want to kind of sift your flour. Just 1 cup. I want to do 2.5 because the other half will be just what I will need to flour my hands or anything. Alright, that's sifted. So now I'm going to take about 1/2 cup of that out and set it aside. So now I have roughly 3 tablespoons of butter and around 3 tablespoons of solid vegetable shortening. You can use all butter, you can use all solid vegetable shortening, but I just mix mine up. Make sure it's cold. And then we're just going to, with a fork or with a pastry blender, just kind of mash it all up until we get little, it looks like little crumbs, little pea size. While you're doing this, if you shake your bowl, some of the bigger pieces will come to the top. And just give it a mash. Now when you're making biscuits, it is best to use buttermilk. But I don't have any buttermilk, and regular sweet milk works just fine. Whole milk. Sometimes I buy the buttermilk powder just for our biscuits, but I don't have any. And I know you can make buttermilk with vinegar or something, but I'm not going to do all that. So I have about a cup of freshly grated cheddar cheese. And you want to mix that in and coat it well with the flour. And then how much milk you'll need is really kind of a hard judgment. So I'm starting out with a cup, and I'll kind of give about how much. You don't want it to be real dry, but you want it to be moist to have a good moist biscuit. So I'll start with 1/2 cup. Give it a mix. And once you add your liquid, you don't really want to over mix this dough. Okay, I can tell I'm going to need more. Okay, that looks good, but there's just a little bit of dry, so I'm going to add just a tiny bit more. If you get it too wet, you can always add back in some flour. So far I've used 3/4 of a cup. And see, and then if I get it too moist, here, let me kind of show you if you can see that good. It's sticky. But, so we can just sprinkle in a little bit more of our flour. And my hands are very clean. I washed my hands real good before I cut the camera on. Kind of wipe up my surface. Now take my reserved flour, sprinkle it on the table because this will be sticky. We'll empty our bowl out. One time I had a candle and craft party at my house, and I have a friend who does crafts. She makes wreaths and paintings and stuff. She brought her things, then I had candles, and we had a lot of just finger foods, and these were the hit of the party. So I'm going to sprinkle the top with just a little bit of flour. Sprinkle my hands with some flour. Just kind of bring it together. If you do like that and you feel sticky parts, just kind of put some more flour on your hands. Just going to kind of get this together a little bit. You don't want to keep just working it. And I'm not even going to use a rolling pin. Just going to kind of flatten it to the thickness that I want my biscuits, which will be about a 1/2 inch. Now for the biscuits, for my tiny biscuits, I'm using a tiny, this is 1 7/8 inch size cookie cutter, or you can even make like normal size for your dinner biscuits. So any size that you make, dip that real good in flour. Start at the edge and go around so you have less waste. Go straight down. I just kind of, I don't turn it, I just kind of jiggle it a little bit. Easily push it out. Oops. Now see, I kind of, that's alright. I kind of toss mine back and forth like this to get off any excess flour. And then I line a cookie sheet with foil for easy cleanup. And I grease it really good because cheese does tend to stick. And just place my little biscuit on there. And just keep going. And I do let my biscuits touch each other. So let me get them all cut out, or I'll show you what I do once I don't have any room to just gather it back up. So I'll be right back. Alright, see, I have all this left, and there's really nowhere I can cut out one that will fit the cookie cutter, so just kind of bring it together. Don't try to work it too much, just bring it together. And just keep going. And you really want to leave it kind of sticky, so your biscuit will be moist. You can make this ahead of time, get it to this point right here. Let me zoom you out. Make it to this point, cover it with some foil or plastic wrap, and stick it in your refrigerator. You know, you can make these that morning, stick them in your refrigerator, and then that evening when you get ready to cook them, pull them out, preheat your oven, you know, and then they're ready. Or what I did is I made mine, covered mine, put it in the refrigerator, took them to my mom's house, and then cooked them in her oven. But these are really good. So I'm going to cover mine, put it in the refrigerator, and when I get ready to bake them, I'll bring you right back. An easy way to clean up this bowl right here, just take your excess flour, sprinkle it on there, and then sprinkle it in the bowl. And then I just kind of take my nails or my fingers and just kind of scrape it up, and then throw it away, and that way all that doughy mess ain't going in your sink. See? Alright, I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I'm going to put my biscuits in the oven and cook them till they're lightly browned on top and on the bottom. And my cheese biscuits are done. They're lightly golden brown on top and on the bottom. And I'm going to let these cool just a bit, and then I'll be back to try one. And remember, the cheese does like to stick sometimes like that, so Just kind of loosen them up. You can take your spatula and loosen them up some. But see, I can tell that they're good and moist. Alright, I'm going to try one of my biscuits. That's what they look like on the inside. These are so good. And if you do make them for a get-together or anything, or even tonight, I'm making them with my supper. Cook some ham along with these and set ham beside it and stuff. It's wonderful. So, thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this recipe and leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. So, I hope you enjoy. Bye, y'all.